The city of New York glowed under the golden morning sun. Cars rushed past Fifth Avenue, and people hustled with coffee cups in their hands, unaware that someone's heart was about to break beyond repair. Ethan Hayes, 24, stood in front of the mirror of his small apartment, adjusting his tie nervously. Today was supposed to be one of the happiest days of his life. His fiancée, Sophie Reed, was going to sign her first big modeling contract, the dream she'd been chasing for years. He looked at her photo on his phone's lock screen. Golden hair, ocean blue eyes, a smile that could make the world stop spinning.
You deserve everything, Sophie, and I'll make sure you get it.
He had skipped sleep for days, working late shifts at the architecture firm and delivering freelance designs at night just to help her pay rent, cover travel, and even buy her audition outfits.
You're my lucky charm, Ethan.
And he believed her. Completely. That afternoon, Ethan arrived at the modeling agency carrying flowers and a small velvet box in his pocket. He had been saving for months for that ring, not too big, not too small, but filled with meaning. Today, after her signing event, he planned to propose to her officially. Inside the studio, bright lights flashed everywhere. Photographers, assistants, and stylists filled the room, and in the middle of it all stood Sophie, glowing in a silver dress, her smile brighter than the camera lights.
Ethan, you came.
Of course, I wouldn't miss this for the world.
But just behind Sophie stood Ryan Cole, the agency's manager, tall, slick, charming. His arm rested casually around Sophie's shoulder. Ethan noticed it but brushed it off as friendly. He didn't want to seem jealous on her big day. That night, the agency threw a small party. Music, champagne, laughter. Sophie danced with everyone, and Ethan sat at the corner table, watching her, proud, nervous, and planning his proposal speech in his mind. As the night went on, he saw Ryan whisper something in Sophie's ear. She laughed. The kind of laugh Ethan had never seen before. A cold feeling crawled up his chest. Later, as he waited by the parking lot to drive her home, she didn't come out. 30 minutes passed. Then, an hour. Ethan's phone buzzed. Two days passed, no calls, no texts. Her apartment was empty when he knocked. Finally, on the third day, Ethan saw her on Instagram, smiling beside Ryan in a luxurious penthouse, captioned, His chest went numb. He dialed her number. No answer. He sent messages, left unseen. The girl he had sacrificed everything for was gone. Weeks turned into months. Ethan buried himself in work. His co-worker, Mia, often found him staring at his laptop with red eyes.
You still checking her profile?
Yeah, just trying to understand what went wrong.
She used you, Ethan. You were just her ladder.
He didn't reply. Deep down, he knew she was right. A year later, he saw Sophie again, at a charity gala hosted by the same modeling agency. She looked radiant, diamond necklace, designer gown, standing next to Ryan. But this time, Ethan wasn't the same boy anymore. He had grown, promoted to senior architect, confident, calm. When Sophie spotted him, her smile froze for a second.
Ethan? Wow, you look different.
Life changes people.
Oh, you're the designer she used to date, right?
Ethan didn't flinch.
Used to. Now I design for investors who buy out companies like yours.
Ryan blinked, thrown off by Ethan's confidence. Sophie's fake smile faded slightly.
As Ethan walked away, Sophie called softly, "Ethan, wait." She looked at him, regret hidden behind forced pride. "Do you ever miss us?"
He paused for a moment. I don't miss what wasn't real.
And he walked out, calm, composed, finally free. That night, as he stood on his balcony overlooking the New York skyline, Ethan whispered to himself, and though he didn't know it yet, Sophie was just the first storm. 6 more were waiting, each one stronger, crueler, and destined to change him forever. A full year had passed since Sophie's betrayal. Ethan Hayes had rebuilt himself piece by piece. He no longer stayed in that cramped apartment. Now, he had his own office, clean lines, glass walls, and the city skyline pouring light over his desk. His life looked perfect, but deep inside, there were scars that success couldn't erase. Ethan had stopped believing in love. until she walked in. Her name was Lena Carter, his old college friend. They'd reconnected at a business conference in Chicago. She was working as a PR consultant, sharp, confident, with eyes that always seemed to read people's emotions before they spoke.
Ethan Hayes, still making buildings touch the clouds?
And you? Still convincing people to like things they don't need?
Hey, that's called marketing.
It felt natural, like breathing again after years underwater. Over the next few weeks, they started meeting more often. Dinners turned into late-night calls. Late-night calls turned into confessions about loneliness, dreams, and pain. Ethan felt safe with Lena in a way he hadn't felt with anyone else. She didn't judge him. She didn't chase his money or his looks. She listened.
Maybe your heart just needed a real friend.
He thought, maybe this time, it's different. By winter, they were officially engaged. It wasn't flashy like with Sophie. No cameras, no glittering parties, just a quiet dinner, a small diamond ring, and two hearts trying to heal together. Lena moved in with him. She brought warmth back into the cold apartment. Soft blankets. Flowers on the counter. Morning kisses before work. For the first time in years, Ethan thought, maybe love isn't always pain. But the signs began small. A text that she quickly deleted. A late-night meeting that didn't feel like one. A new perfume that wasn't hers before. Ethan noticed, but he didn't want to believe it. Not again. One Friday night, Ethan got home early from a client meeting. He walked into the apartment and saw the light under the bedroom door. Voices, soft, familiar. He froze. The second voice wasn't Lena's. It was his best friend, Aaron Blake, the man who had stood by him through Sophie's betrayal. His brother, in every way except blood. Ethan's heart pounded. He opened the door slowly, and what he saw shattered him more than any betrayal before.
Ethan, it's not what you think.
Bro, listen.
Don't call me that. Tell me how long.
Silence.
3 months, it just happened.
3 months? You moved into my house, planned a wedding, and for 3 months you were lying to me?
Ethan, please, I didn't mean to hurt you.
You already did.
That night, Ethan didn't yell, didn't break things. He just packed her suitcase, placed it by the door, and said quietly,
Ethan, please!
Leave before I stop caring.
It wasn't supposed to.
You can have her. Both of you deserve each other.
He closed the door behind them, and this time, he didn't cry. Just silence. Deep, heavy silence. Days turned into weeks again. He went to work, spoke little, and threw himself into projects like a machine. But one night, Mia, his co-worker and only true friend, walked into his office.
You look like hell. You're lying. Ethan, you can't keep letting people turn your heart into target practice.
Then what should I do?
Stop letting them win. Build something they can't destroy. Not love, not trust. Power. Her words stuck in his head. For the first time, he didn't feel broken. He felt hungry.
Months later, Ethan made his first big move, a private investment firm. With his design knowledge and financial skills, he started flipping real estate deals and investing in startups. Success came fast, too fast. His calm, patient personality transformed into a calculated, sharper version. Every handshake was now strategy. Every smile, measured. And one night, when his company's net worth crossed 7 figures, he whispered, But fate wasn't done testing him, because betrayal number 3, the one that would almost destroy his heart completely, was waiting right around the corner, and this time, it wouldn't come from a lover or a friend. It would come from family. Ethan Hayes had learned to live with betrayal, or so he thought. After Sophie and Lena, he built walls no one could climb. He became sharper, wealthier, and more guarded than ever. By the time he turned 29, Ethan's company, Hayes Capital, was one of the fastest-growing private investment firms in Chicago. He had everything: luxury penthouse, expensive cars, media attention, everything except peace. One rainy Friday night, his phone buzzed. A familiar name lit up the screen. Emily Hayes, his little sister.
Hey stranger, you never call anymore.
Been busy, Em. Work's been crazy.
You sound tired. Come home this weekend, Mom misses you.
He hesitated. The last time he went home, the air between him and his stepfather, Richard, had been thick with unspoken tension. Richard never believed Ethan would make it big, always called him a dreamer chasing dust. Still, Emily had always been his piece, the one person who believed in him before anyone else did.
All right, I'll come.
When he arrived at their suburban house 2 days later, Emily ran to hug him. She looked happy, glowing even, but behind her smile, Ethan sensed something off. Her eyes flickered with guilt. They spent the day catching up. Over dinner, she said quietly,
"There's someone I want you to meet.
Oh, finally dating someone?
It's serious this time. He's amazing.
That's great. What's his name?
Aaron."
Ethan froze. Aaron Blake, his best friend, the same man who'd betrayed him with Lena. The room fell silent. Even the clock seemed to stop ticking.
"Yes, I know you two had issues before, but Ethan, he's changed. He loves me."
He used to date my fiancée, Emily. He lied to me. He destroyed years of friendship.
"I know what happened, but people can change.
And you believe him?
Why can't you be happy for me?"
Because he's poison. And now he's sinking his teeth into you.
Later that night, Ethan stood alone on the balcony, staring into the dark sky. He couldn't shake the rage inside him. Aaron, the man who stole his love, was now dating his sister. The betrayal cut deeper than anything before. His phone buzzed again, a message from an unknown number. He opened it, and his blood ran cold. Ethan clenched his fists. Someone was sending him proof, taunting him. He didn't know who sent it, but it meant one thing: he wasn't done being played. The next day, he drove to confront Aaron. Aaron was waiting outside Emily's apartment, casual as ever.
You don't have to do this.
Do what? Protect my sister from another one of your lies?
I made mistakes, but I love her.
You loved Lena too. And before that, Sophie used to call you her best friend.
I didn't come here to fight.
Then leave her alone.
You've always been the same, Ethan. You think money makes you better than everyone else, but deep down, you're just afraid someone will love the people you couldn't keep.
Stay away from Emily, that's not a request.
You went to see him, didn't you? Why can't you let me make my own choices?
Because I've seen who he is, Em. He'll ruin you.
You're wrong about him, and you'll see.
Then she hung up. Weeks passed. Ethan tried to focus on work, but his mind kept circling back to Emily. He had someone follow Aaron, a private investigator. He needed proof. Days later, the report came in. Investigation summary. Aaron Blake recently withdrew $50,000 cash. Met with Lena Carter twice in the past month. Unconfirmed rumors. Possible blackmail attempt. Ethan's heart sank. Not only was Aaron back in contact with Lena, but he might have been using Emily to access Ethan's company or money. He couldn't stay silent anymore. Inside, chaos, broken glass, furniture overturned, a faint smell of alcohol and blood. No response. He rushed into the bedroom and found her sitting on the floor crying, clutching her phone.
"Ethan, you were right."
She showed him the screen, messages between her and Aaron.
"He's gone. He took money from me, from your account too. I gave him your business password."
Ethan closed his eyes, trying to contain the rage boiling inside him. He wanted to destroy everything, but instead, he stood up, calm and deadly.
No more mercy, no more love. From now on, anyone who betrays me pays.
In the weeks that followed, Ethan froze Aaron's accounts, blacklisted him in every major firm, and released his fraud record to the media. Aaron disappeared, Lena too, and Emily. She moved to their mother's house, broken but safe.
Ethan sat alone one night, watching the city from his window, whispering to himself, 3 down, 4 more to go.
Because somewhere deep in his heart, he already knew. The other betrayals weren't far behind, and the story of his revenge was just beginning. Ethan had always believed that people wore masks, but never imagined his own fiancée's mask would be the most perfect one he'd ever seen. When he first met Clara, his 4th fiancée, she seemed like everything he'd ever wanted: graceful, ambitious, independent. She was a lawyer, confident and composed, someone who could walk into a courtroom and command silence with her voice alone. Ethan admired her strength. After the chaos and heartbreak of his previous relationships, she felt like peace, wrapped in elegance. For the first few months, everything was perfect. Dinners in candlelit restaurants, long drives through the city, promises whispered against the backdrop of city lights. She understood his scars, or at least pretended to. But perfection, Ethan learned, was often a lie dressed in sincerity. One night, as he worked late on an architecture design proposal, Clara texted him, "Don't wait up tonight. Girls' night out." He smiled at first. She deserved to have fun, yet something tugged at the back of his mind, a quiet unease that wouldn't let him rest. Clara wasn't one to go out drinking, especially on a weekday. He brushed it off and returned to his work. But around midnight, when he received a message from an unknown number, his heart froze.
You deserve to know who she really spends her nights with.
Attached was a picture. Clara, in a dimly lit bar, sitting across from a man, her hand resting on his. Ethan's stomach dropped. The next morning, Clara came home humming softly, pretending as if nothing had happened. Her perfume filled the air, the same scent she wore the night he proposed. She walked over to him and kissed his cheek.
Good morning, love. You're up early.
Where were you last night?
I told you, White, with friends.
Which ones? He asked, his tone low.
Her smile flickered for a second. Why are you asking like that?
He showed her the photo.
For the first time, Clara's calm mask cracked. Her eyes widened, then narrowed into something sharp. So, you're having me followed now?
You lied to me, Ethan said quietly. You were with him.
Oh, Ethan, you're so naive. You think love is about honesty? Sometimes it's about power, and you... She pointed at him. You fall for women who know how to control it.
Those words cut deeper than betrayal. They revealed something darker, that Clara never loved him at all. To her, their relationship was a game of superiority. Ethan left the apartment that night, his mind spinning with confusion and pain. Another woman who promised forever had turned his heart into collateral damage. Days turned into weeks. Ethan began questioning everything, not just about Clara, but about himself. Why did he keep choosing the same type of love? Why did every promise turn to poison? But fate wasn't done with him yet. A few weeks later, Clara called him. Her voice trembled this time. "Ethan, please. I need to talk to you." Against his better judgment, he met her at a quiet cafe. She looked tired, mascara smudged, eyes red. The confidence she once wore like armor was gone.
You were right, she said softly. I used you. I was angry at someone else, and you became my punishment. But I never meant to destroy you.
Ethan stared at her in silence. For the first time, he saw the person behind the perfection, broken, scared, and full of regret.
Clara, you didn't destroy me. You just reminded me how fragile love becomes when it's built on lies.
She lowered her gaze, tears spilling onto her coffee cup. That was the last time Ethan ever saw her. That night, as he walked home through the quiet streets, he thought about all 4 fiancées so far. Each one had taught him something painful, but something real. He began to understand that love wasn't about finding perfection. It was about finding truth. And the courage to face it. But little did he know, his 5th fiancée would be the most dangerous one yet. Not because she lied, but because she made him believe in love again. After Clara, Ethan promised himself he'd never fall in love again. 4 broken engagements. 4 times his heart had been shattered, reshaped, and shattered again. He was done, or so he thought, until he met Sophie Hayes. It happened on a cold December evening. Snow was falling softly over Chicago, wrapping the city in silence. Ethan had just left a late meeting, his mind fogged with exhaustion, when he saw her outside a small coffee shop. She was standing by the door, holding 2 steaming cups, and looking around, like she was waiting for someone who wasn't coming. Her scarf was too big for her face, her cheeks red from the cold. When their eyes met, something quiet, something human, passed between them.
Hey, you look like you could use coffee more than the guy I was waiting for.
You're giving away coffee to strangers?
Only the good-looking, exhausted ones.
That one moment, that warmth in the freezing air, melted something inside him he thought was gone forever. Over the next few weeks, Sophie became a constant in Ethan's life. She wasn't like the others. She didn't wear designer dresses or speak in perfect rehearsed lines. She was messy, real, and sometimes said the wrong things, but her honesty was magnetic. She laughed loudly, argued passionately, and cried when watching sad movies, and every time Ethan looked at her, he saw the life he had been trying to build with the wrong people.
You've been hurt. You don't talk about it, but I can see it in your eyes.
Yeah, 4 times actually.
4? Then maybe the 5th time's the charm.
You sound awfully confident.
No, just hopeful.
For the first time in years, he allowed himself to believe. Months passed. They built something beautiful, slow, fragile, and genuine. Sophie supported him in ways none of the others ever had. She'd leave little notes in his coat pocket before work. "You're doing great. Keep going." When he had nightmares, she'd wake him up and hold him until he stopped shaking. Ethan began to think she was the one. Then, one day, as he prepared to propose, something unexpected happened. He was searching for his phone when he found hers, buzzing on the counter. The screen lit up with a message. "Unknown. We need to talk. He's starting to trust you too much." The words hit him like a slap. His breath caught. His hands trembled. He opened the chat. There were dozens of messages. Conversations between Sophie and someone named R. They spoke in code, but the meaning was clear. Sophie was hiding something big. He scrolled further and saw a message from just last week. "Sophie. I think I'm falling for him for real. This wasn't supposed to happen." The room spun. This, again?
Hey, I brought dinner. You look pale. Everything okay? Ethan, please. Let me explain.
You lied to me, Sophie, just like the others.
No. At first, yes, I lied. But then I fell in love with you, and that wasn't part of the plan. R is my brother. He hired me to get close to you, to find out if you were the one who ruined his business deal 7 years ago. He wanted revenge. But I never knew who you really were, until it was too late.
Ethan felt his world shatter all over again.
So what am I to you, a job, a mission?
No, you're the man I love. The man I was supposed to betray but couldn't.
Love built on lies doesn't last.
And with that, he walked out.
You're wrong, Ethan. Sometimes lies are born from love, and love is what kills us in the end.
But she wasn't done yet, because Sophie wasn't the type to let go. Not of him, not of the truth. The night Ethan walked out of Sophie's apartment, the snow kept falling, thick, relentless, and eerily quiet. He drove without direction, the city lights blurring into streaks of white and red. Every breath he took burned like betrayal, familiar and cruel. He'd been here before, the same feeling, the same pain. But this time, it cut deeper, because this time, he'd believed. When he finally stopped the car, he was outside his company's headquarters. It was past midnight. The building stood tall and empty, a monument to everything he'd built while losing himself. He entered his office, the hum of the city far below, and poured himself a drink. He stared at the skyline, his reflection faint against the glass.
7 fiancés, he muttered bitterly. 7 mistakes. Maybe I was the problem all along.
His assistant Ryan had once joked that Ethan's love life could fill a book, but this book, this cruel, twisted novel of heartbreak and deception, was one he wanted to burn. The next morning, Ethan arrived at work earlier than usual. He tried to bury himself in meetings, reports, and deals, but Sophie's words haunted him.
R is my brother. He hired me to find out what you did.
What had he done? What was the connection between him and this mysterious R?
When the thought wouldn't leave his mind, he made a call. "Detective Harlow, it's Ethan Carter. I need you to find someone for me. Name, Ryan Hayes. Last known address, New York. And check for any links to a woman named Sophie Hayes."
Ethan, you're not gonna like this. Ryan Hayes isn't just Sophie's brother. He's your former business partner from your first startup 7 years ago.
That can't be right. My partner was Robert Hale.
Robert Hale is Ryan Hayes. He changed his name after your company collapsed.
7 years ago, his first company, Novatech, had gone bankrupt after an anonymous betrayal. Someone had sold their patent to a rival firm. He'd lost everything overnight, and Robert had disappeared. So this was it. The ghosts of his past had come back, through Sophie.
You found out, didn't you?
Why didn't you just tell me the truth?
Because I didn't know you were the Ethan Carter from Novatech. Ryan only told me your name, not your story. He said you destroyed his life.
Destroyed his life? He's the one who sold me out. He took the money and ran.
No, that's not what he told me.
Of course not. He needed you to hate me, to get close enough to break me again.
I swear, Ethan, I didn't want to hurt you. But when I found out who you were, I tried to stop him.
Stop him from what?
From finishing what he started.
What do you mean?
He's not after your money anymore. He wants to destroy your name. He's planning something big, something that'll ruin your company.
And you came here to warn me?
Yes, because I love you. Even if you never forgive me, I won't let him destroy you.
He didn't know if he could ever love her again. But he knew one thing. He wasn't going to let history repeat itself. If he wants war, then he's going to get one.
Then let me help you.
After everything, you expect me to trust you?
No, but I'm asking you to believe that people can change. Just like you once did.
Her words hit him like a mirror to his soul. That night, for the first time in 7 years, Ethan didn't feel like the victim anymore. He felt like a man who'd been reborn through betrayal, and this time, he wasn't going to fall.
We end this together.
Together?
Outside, the city lights glowed like fire against the dark sky, a symbol of the storm that was about to come, because this wasn't just love anymore. This was revenge. The night was sharp and electric, a storm swirling above the Manhattan skyline, as if the heavens themselves were preparing for war. Inside Ethan's glass-walled penthouse, the tension was thicker than the clouds outside. The lights of the city shimmered below, unaware that everything that Ethan had built, his company, his peace, his future, balanced on the edge of one confrontation. Sophie stood by the window, her hands clasped tight.
He's coming tonight. Ryan doesn't trust me anymore. He knows I've been in contact with you.
Then we'll be ready for him.
On the table between them, his laptop showed a live feed from his office, hidden cameras, motion sensors, and the data vault that Ryan was after. 11:47 p.m. The elevator in Ethan's building chimed, the sound echoed like a heartbeat. Ryan Hayes stepped out, tall, confident, wearing the same calm smirk that Ethan remembered from 7 years ago when he'd shaken his hand for the last time. Except now, there was no friendship in his eyes, only vengeance.
Long time, Carter. Looks like the tables finally turned.
Funny. I was thinking the same thing.
You took everything from me. My career, my reputation. Do you know what it's like to start over from nothing?
You mean after you sold our patent and ran? Don't twist this, Ryan. You destroyed us.
I did what I had to survive. And you became the golden boy, the billionaire, the man I was supposed to be. He stepped closer, voice lowering. You took my dream, so now I'll take yours.
Before Ethan could respond, Ryan snapped his fingers, and 2 men in dark suits entered, carrying briefcases. They weren't bodyguards, they were hackers. Sophie's heart pounded as they opened the cases, revealing encrypted drives.
You're going to transfer every bit of your company's control, or I'll release everything. Every lie, every scandal I've been collecting on you.
You think I didn't expect this?
He pressed a button under his desk. Suddenly, the screens around the room flickered, showing Ryan's face, Sophie's confession, and every word he had just said, broadcast live to the company's internal network.
What the hell did you do?
You wanted to destroy me, but you just exposed yourself to everyone watching.
It's over, Ryan.
You betrayed me too, after everything?
I betrayed a liar, not a brother.
For a moment, the world held still, lightning flashing outside the windows, thunder echoing like fate itself. Ryan lunged forward, but Ethan caught his arm, forcing him down. The guards burst in seconds later, pulling him away as he shouted curses that echoed down the hall. When the noise faded, only Ethan and Sophie remained. She sank to the floor, shaking.
It's over.
Yeah, it's over.
But deep down, he knew it wasn't. Not really, because betrayal doesn't end when the villain is caught. It ends when the wounds stop bleeding, and his hadn't yet. Done 2 months later. The sun finally felt warm again. Ethan sat in his office, the same skyline outside, but it looked different now, calmer, quieter, like it had exhaled with him. Sophie knocked softly on the door before walking in.
So what does a man do when he's survived 7 fiancés, 1 corporate spy, and a scandal?
He starts over.
With me?
He paused, the past flickering in his eyes. All 7 women, all 7 heartbreaks, all 7 lessons. That night they walked out into the city, hand in hand, not as the CEO and the spy, not as the victim and the betrayer, but as 2 people who had finally survived the storm. The lights around them glowed gold, reflecting in their eyes. Because sometimes love isn't about perfection. It's about finding someone who's worth forgiving. And for Ethan, that was the greatest victory of all.